Alright, so with the new season of Fortnite, the Sprite Garden was added to the game, and honestly, there was a lot of hype around it before it came out. And I was actually pretty excited to see what it was going to be like, because the whole idea of having a place where you could see all of the sprites you have collected sounded pretty cool. But now that it's actually been out for a little bit, I feel like people just don't really care about it that much anymore. And I'm not saying that the Sprite Garden is terrible or anything, but I actually think that it has lots of potential. But I think the reason people stop caring about it so fast is because there's just not that much to do. Like, you go into the Sprite Garden, you look at all your sprites, place them around, maybe check somebody else's Sprite Garden out, and then after, you're kind of just like, okay, now what? So in this video, I'm going to be talking about why I think the Sprite Garden kind of failed, why I think people stop caring about it so quickly, and what I think Fortnite could do to actually make it better. So basically, if you don't already know, the Sprite Garden is a place where you can see all of the sprites you have collected from this season and the previous season. You can go in there, look at your whole collection, and you can also see other people's collections too. You can have up to 4 people in a lobby visit each other's gardens and like their gardens if you want. You can also choose houses from some of your sprites and place specific sprites wherever you want. And honestly, when you first go into it, it's pretty cool, especially if you collected a lot of sprites. It's nice actually being able to see them all in one place and set everything up how you want. But I think the problem is that after you do all of that once, there's not really much of a reason to keep coming back. And I think that's the biggest problem with the whole thing. Because before the Sprite Garden came out, there was actually a lot of hype around it. And I think part of the reason for that was because nobody really knew exactly what it was going to be like. People had all of these different ideas of what you might be able to do, and honestly the concept itself just sounded like it had so much potential. Because when you have all of these different sprites that people are collecting, having a whole place based around them could have really been something really big. And then when it actually came out, I think lots of people realized that it was mostly just a place to look at and display your sprites, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I feel like people were expecting or maybe just hoping for a little bit more. So the first reason why I think the Sprite Garden failed is because there's just not really that much that brings you back to it. Like, think about it. The first time you go into the Sprite Garden, you're probably going to spend some time looking around. You're going to look at all your sprites, place some in different spots, and maybe visit other people's gardens too. But once you've done all that, what else is there? There's nothing really inside the Sprite Garden that makes you feel like, oh, I need to come back to this. And that's a problem, because I feel like every game mode or feature needs something that keeps players coming back. It doesn't even have to be something crazy. They could add challenges, they could add exclusive rewards, they could add special sprites that you can only get by doing something in the Sprite Garden. Just add something, because right now, once you've seen your collection, you've pretty much seen all there is to do in the Sprite Garden. And this brings me to my second reason, which is longevity. Basically, the Sprite Garden doesn't really have anything that's going to keep it relevant for a long time. It's one of those things where it's cool because it's new, but once the new feeling goes away, there's nothing really there to replace it. And I think that's why the player count and the interest around it can drop so fast. It's not even necessarily because everyone hates it. I just think people feel like they've already done everything there is to do. And once that happens, why would you keep on going back? You can collect more sprites obviously, but collecting the sprites isn't really the same as playing the Sprite Garden itself. The Sprite Garden should make you want to collect more sprites, and collecting more sprites should make you want to keep going back to the Sprite Garden. Those two things should kind of work together, but right now, I don't really feel like they do. And I also want to talk about being able to visit other people's Sprite Gardens, because I actually think this is a pretty cool feature. Seeing somebody with a rare sprite that you don't have can be interesting, and seeing somebody who's collecting a bunch of sprites can actually make you want to collect more yourself. But again, I feel like it doesn't go far enough. You can visit their garden, you can like it, but that's pretty much it. Imagine if there was like featured gardens or something where the community could vote on the best ones. Or maybe there could be like events where everybody has to decorate their garden around a certain theme. Something that will actually make you want to spend more time on your garden and make it look better and show it off to other people. Because right now you can customize it a little bit, but there's not really a huge reason to do it. Now, personally, I think the Sprite Garden has so much potential, and there's one thing that I think could completely change it: trading. Imagine being able to trade sprites with other players. Like, Say you have a sprite that somebody really wants and they have one that you've been looking for a while, so you can actually trade with them. I feel like that will instantly making collecting sprites way more interesting. And obviously Fortnite will have to make sure that the system is fair and everything, but I think something like that can really give rare sprites actual value. Or they can add some sort of market where players could sell sprites for sprite dust. Then you could use the sprite dust to buy decorations, unlock new stuff in your garden, or maybe even get special sprites. And now there's actually a reason to keep collecting, because even if you get a sprite that you already have or don't really want, it could still be useful. And I feel like that will give the Sprite Garden a whole new purpose. And trading isn't even the only thing they could do. They could add exclusive rewards for people who play the Sprite Garden. They could have limited time events. They could add new areas over time. They could add challenges where you have to do different things with your sprites. Maybe there could be rewards for completing certain collections. There are honestly so many things they could do with this idea, and that's why I don't think that the Sprite Garden is completely bad. I think it's more disappointing because it feels like they could have done so much more. The idea is there, the sprites are there, the social features are there. It just needs something that makes people really want to keep on playing. So overall, I don't think the Sprite Garden failed because it was a bad idea. I think it failed because there's just not enough to do. There was a lot of hype before it came out, and I think people were excited because they thought it could become something bigger. But now that it's here, it feels like most people go in, check it out once, and then they don't really have a reason to go back. And I think the two biggest reasons for that are pretty simple. First, there are no real purpose that keeps bringing you back, and second, it doesn't really have any longevity. But I still think that Fortnite can make the Sprite Garden way better if they actually build on it in the future, adding trading, a market, events, exclusive rewards, or even completely different features could honestly change the whole thing. But that's just what I think. I really want to know what you guys think though. If you guys had the power to change the Sprite Garden, what would you guys add to it? What would make you guys actually want to keep coming back to playing it? Let me know in the comments, because I'm actually interested to see what you guys have, all you guys' ideas. And if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.